information. We record it on Zoom, and then it will be on YouTube as well. So during the year, we have the talks until May. Now, next month, we have a speaker on digital photography, and in May, we have a few options that we haven't developed. But also in May, we have our elections for 2 positions, and that is secretary. Right now, it's Linda Wire, and she's willing to continue if no one steps up. And our vice president is Larry Schreier. And so, if you would like to become an officer in the club, let me know, and we'll put you on the ballot for that position. How many of you read the newsletter that goes out? The newsletter that goes out online is sent to you. It's sent to all the members. I'm just curious to see who reads it. And if you've noticed in the lab, there's a few new things if you didn't read the newsletter, that right now we have removed one color printer. It's not needed, and it is for sale on the best offer, whatever you'd like to pay. And we also have more workspace there right when you walk in, so that you can bring your own laptop and set up to the printers, and it's like your workstation, our workstation, so we can do whatever we need to. So, any questions, concerns, or updates or self about the tech hubs? Well, last year we had Miguel from the Wheeler Taft Library came and spoke, and it was such a popular talk that I invited him to return. And besides Wheeler Taft, which is the closest one, there's also the Nanyini Library, Oro Valley Library, many other places where you can access all of the things, plus online, all of the things that Miguel will talk to us about. So with that, I can read through again.
All right, check. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Morning. My name is Miguel. Over there is Ammon. He's my associate. That's going to be helping us out here as well. I work for the Pima County Public Library. We're going to show you our digital catalog through Libby. I guess before this started, I want to ask a few questions. Is that how many of you have gotten your library card or digital card? Raise your hand. We're going to digital card. Okay, I think we've got another review. If you haven't yet, we'll be able to help you out there at the end. That way we can get that all set up. So right now we're just going to go through the entirety of Libby here in a second. But Libby is a program website we host at the library to help us with our digital content, everything from ebooks, audiobooks, we have e-magazines on there as well. And I'll be showing you how to check those out, search for them, and how to use it on your device that you'll be more than likely using it on for travel or on a computer. Yes?
Can I ask you, what's the difference between these regular cards, these plastic cards, and the e-card?
Nothing. So whatever your main one is, so if you have a physical card, that works as your e-card. You do not need both. So if you have your physical library card, that's all you'll need. If you have the digital one, that's fine. We can get you a physical card at the library whenever, or you'll be sent one through mail if that's how you requested it. So if you got the physical one, that's all you'll need. Any other questions? We good? All right. Yes.
Okay, it's been a long time. How do you find your library card on your phone? You have to go into the library website and then.
Yes, to find your library card online, you need to know your library card number. So if you've lost your number or don't remember your username, you can definitely just bring it out to the library and we'll get that all settled for you as well. Because when you enter our website, so this guy right here, our library website, is this blocking it a little bit? So we can move it. There we go. I'm gonna move this little picture over here. Right up here is where you can log in for the first time with your card. Once you've logged in for the first time, it'll ask you to make a username. That way you don't have to put in your library card every single time or memorize those numbers. Usually what I recommend is when people make that account, is to make it the beginning of their email or something you'll remember. And the PIN will always be those 4-digit numbers you assigned your card to. So we'll come back to that in a sec. Well, if you don't have your card number or anything like that, we'll be able to help you here a little afterwards, but let's jump into Libby. So just by show of hands, let's see what type of devices we're gonna be messing around with here today. How many of you are gonna be reading on an Android device? Raise your hands. 1, we got 2, all right. How many of you are on Apple or iPhone? All right, cool. So we're gonna be going through those two right now, but what about people that want to read and hear this on their computer? 1, 2, 3, perfect. This is what I'll be showing you straight on here, so this will all look the same to us, it just matters on how we're gonna get to it. Last, are there any other devices I did not mention? Any other devices? What device? Kindle, perfect, yeah, we'll be able to do it through Kindle as well, and any other Kindle users in here? Any Nook users by any chance? A Nook user over there too? Those should work the same on Android. So I'll show you all through here, but we can talk later about Kindle too, because it all depends on that one. That was a fun one to go through. All right, so let's start off by getting to Libby. And this is what it'll look like to everybody. So if you're on the computer, you'll go through the website through the Libby desktop app, and I'll show you how to get there a little later. And those of you who've downloaded the Libby app, the first time you enter it will look like this. When you first enter it, it'll ask you, hey, you're reading through Libby, through Pima County. It's asking you if you already have a library card. Let's say yes. If you don't have a library card, don't go through the second option. Just come to us for the library card. We'll be able to get you that number. But we'll say yes, we have a library card. We're going to search for the library. And we're just going to type in Pima. It'll come up with a few of them, but the one we want is, of course, Pima County Public Library right here.
Can you go back? I don't
Yeah.
know. How did you, I'm trying to get into Libby and it says I need a Kindle. Get the Libby app. Do I click it for,
Evan will help you out right there,
Okay,
and he'll be on his way.
yeah, maybe I'm supposed to do this last night.
Through the website probably, but yeah, here too. Evan will help you out with that.
Okay.
So, again, oops, not that one. We'll come back to that one later. So this is just when the first time you're entering it, this is the one-time thing where you'll have to search for the library. Yes, I have a card, search for library, for Pima. Pima County Public Library, and there we are. Now we're inside of Libby through our digital catalog. And we'll go through this, each section down here at the bottom, even on the app, you'll have these same sections down here. We'll go through them all one at a time here. So the first thing we see is the magnifying glass. This is our search option. And here we can search a particular author, a particular title. If you know what you're looking for, the search option is where you'll go. So if I'm just looking for instance, let's look up just James Patterson. It'll come up with 570 results, and we'll have all these available for you to check out. You can even filter it up here by books or audiobooks, depending on what you'll want. And if you haven't filtered it down here, you'll see the difference between these two books. One, if they have an hour underneath it, that tells you it's an audiobook. That's how long the audiobook is, right underneath the title right here. Everyone see it? Probably. And then if it doesn't, like this one, it's an ebook. And then, like I said, you can filter it up here saying, oh, hey, I just want audiobooks. Here are all James Patterson audiobooks. And like I said, their timer underneath shows you that they are an audiobook. Let's go back to the top here. Now let's say you don't know what you're looking for, you're just browsing for something. You come in, the second option right here, the little house, the little browse house. You'll be able to find tabs up here for newest books, most popular, maybe random, if you like to see what's in our catalog, it's randomly. Or one you'll probably use a lot is the available now tab. Those are items that are just, hey, you're ready to check out. If we click into there, it'll show you that, hey, we have magazines that are ready to check out. And you can filter it by books up here, audios, or like I said, magazines. We do offer magazines. Those are digital magazines and they are current. They'll also, of course, update, I think, every month-ish, whenever the digital copy comes out for it. Of course, I think magazines will always be at the top because those will be current. So let's just say, hey, here are they available now. Books. And you'll see loads of titles here, Copperhead.
So that top row, show it again?
The top row up here.
Yes. Those little clovers that you see on the card there, those are a very special type of book. They only check out for a week.
Oh yes, these right here. The little clover right here at the top, those clovers are lucky days. How many are you familiar with physical lucky day items? No? So the lucky day items are items that are very popular. They just released and they probably have a lot of holes. We have those lucky day items over there that do not collect the holes, so you can technically cut the line if the book is available to pick up. If you see these clovers right here, you'll know that they're like a hot item. And if they're readily available now, you're able to borrow them or skip the line technically. So I'll come back to those ones too later. Let's go ahead and go back. Come back to the house option. If we scroll down, we'll be able to see anything that's just added. If you're looking to see what's current, this will show you everything right here for just added, over 1,000 titles. I think it's always the top 1,000 titles that were just added. A little bit lower down, you'll see guides. These guides, when I go through with them, if you ever want to look to see what's available through kids, the kids section, you'll go through here, and like you can see they even have audiobooks, kids audiobooks. You want to look through teens, and if you go through more guides, one of the more interesting ones are the Spanish ones and the world languages ones. So if you're ever like looking to see if you're learning a language, we do have books in multiple languages as well to help you check out if you just need a reference. Go back a little bit further down, you'll see the extras like Canopy, Classica, IndieFix, and Hello Concerts. This is the next step up. Once you get through Libby, these guys are the next step up because you'll be able to look at videos through us, you'll be able to look up concerts through us, recorded concerts. And again, that'll be the next step up, and once you're feeling a little more, don't feel free to ask us at the library, the phone on how to get through these too. The last thing down here is the ones that Evan over here was talking about, were the lucky day items. Again, these are the very popular ones with no waiting required, popular titles that are available now. And I believe if we click into them, 77 titles of Lucky Day, it looks like Lucky Day items might only be ebooks. Yeah, it looks like they're only ebooks right now. So you will never find a Lucky Day audiobook on here. Let's go back up to the top. The middle option right here, down here at the bottom, this one is one you'll rarely come back to, but here's ones for your settings. Well, this will be one when we attach your library card to your Libby, so you have your account. We'll come here and manage our cards. We'll put the number and our PIN number in, so that way Libby unlocks us so we can have our 20 checkouts. You can even have a lot of settings here too, so you can specifically ask it, hey, I only want Kindle books, or hey, I'm looking specifically for a certain language, just to set it to that specific language. Again, useful information, but one you won't come here too often. To the right of that is the stack of books, which is your shelf. Anything you have checked out, like your loans, will be here. So whenever you're reading an audiobook and you close it and you're going to come back, or an ebook, you'll come back here to reopen it to start reading it again. Along with your holds, any holds you have online. So if an item's not readily available, it'll ask you to put a hold, and you'll put your email in there. You'll receive an email once that book becomes readily available. You'll also have a timeline, which is very fun. Oh, we're not logged in yet. So, where you'll see everything you've checked out. So that way you'll have a browsing history as well to see what has come your way. And of course, notices for any notices coming up. I think that's just for explorations notices. The last tab, again, this will not be used too much unless you want to, is the tags. So tags, the way they work is every item for your account will have a little tag down here. And this is something you can, if you want to use, is when you select a tag, you can give it a personal tag of whatever you want. You can make a tag of your favorite books and revisit all those tags. So that way, if you come back and read something, let's say you want to read something yearly. I come back to stuff yearly, so I would make a tab like that. You can even make a tab for, oh, I want to read this at a later time, like a wish list. You can make a tag for, oh, this tag was for my mysteries or my cozy mysteries I want to read in the future. Again, you can get very creative with these tags because they're all personally made for yourself. Again, that's something we can come back to later as well. So for right now, let's stop here, and if I have any questions for right now, we got one in the background there.
Sure. What determines how many copies are available?
What determines how many copies are available is it kind of runs off of it's a publisher thing. So let's say, for instance, we buy like 100 copies of a digital item, right? We always have to refill those into copies because they're licenses technically, and we make them 5 available at a time for people. So that's one way we do it. There are multiple ways where it's like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter how many copies are out there available. We just do it unlimitedly for this one copy, and we pay for that copy yearly. In a sense.
So who is the we?
We as in Pima County. We as in Pima County, the same people who order the physical books also have a department for digital items.
Okay, and do you anticipate popularity? I've got some books, I'm 40th on 2 copies.
Yes, exactly. Those copies are there because that's how the publisher wants us to do it. They want us to release 2 at a time. That's why we also have those lucky day items. So if you're high up on a very popular book right now, look at lucky days. You never know, one would be there. We could also again, it all depends on when those items are returned. So when the license expires, that's how it'll go down. It'll go down on that list of 40 people. And yeah.
Can we also just access Libby from the library website?
Absolutely, yes, your account on your phone will be the same on the computer, as long as you enter right here, it's back in the middle, your library card number.
So we could look for a certain book, and then it could be a hard copy or an ebook and an audiobook. So if we choose ebook or audiobook, it automatically takes us to Libby?
Not all the time. Not all, so let's say we're on our website, which is the Pima County website, and we look for a book and it says it's digital. I want to say maybe like 75% of the time, it'll be on Libby. The other 25 will potentially be on Hoopla, which is, again, the one step up from Libby. Once you understand Libby and go through it, Hoopla, I would definitely go through if you're feeling confident already in Libby. And Hoopla is one of those items, again, like you were saying, is another digital catalog we have, but it has different rules than Libby, but it's way more bigger catalog. It has a bigger backlog, it gets more things updated. Here it's what we say, what we want. Hoopla is more of a, hey, what's popular and what's going on through there, but it's more limited on how much you can check out. Because with Libby, you're able to check out 20 digital items at a time for 3 weeks. They do not renew. No digital item renews. They'll just expire. So if you want it for another 3 weeks, you'll have to check it out again. So just be useful for your time for digital items, because you would probably have to be put back on hold if you run out of time for a very popular item.
How does that work with Audible?
We do not work with Audible.
No, I mean,
audiobooks?
yeah,
Oh, with audiobooks, same, 3 weeks, they don't renew. If it works the same, like again, you'll have the 3 weeks, and if they run out, you can check it out again, or put yourself back in on the hold list. Yes?
I do want to mention that if you do lose your hold and you gotta put yourself back on it, it will remember your spot whenever you get the downloaded again.
Oh, that's a nice little update, I didn't know that. Technology, it helps us, or at least it should. Any other questions at this point? Because after this point, I'm gonna show you guys how to access an ebook and an audiobook and all the features it comes into. Any questions here on out, or are we ready to move on? Okay, let's move on here then. Here in the center section, next to these three little lines, this will be the one-time thing. This will be the one-time thing of you putting in your library card information to Libby, so that way it gives you access to your 20 checkout. We're gonna go here to manage cards. We're gonna add a card. I would like to sign in with my card. If you would want a card, again, and then I can show you here at the end so that way you have your own card and you'll do it through the website and not through here, because this will boot you up to something else, but it's fine. But if you already have your number, we're gonna do sign in with my card that I have. It's gonna ask you what library we're at, and again, we're just gonna choose Pima County. We're gonna put in our library card number. Oh wow, I forgot my number. All right, hold on. Nope, I already forgot it. It's because I'm up here and I'm in the hot seat, that's why. Gonna show off to everybody here that I knew my number, but there we go. Shame.
But once you're in Libby, you don't have to do all that.
Exactly, this is again like the one time, once you're in, you don't have to remember putting that in. Let's see. Boom, it'll ask you for your PIN, put in my PIN. There it is, it'll show your digital card right up there saying 0 out of 20 loans and 0 out of 20 holds. So let's go next. Once it adds it on here, let's go ahead and search for an item. I'll show you guys the available now. I went to the browse house, I went to available now. I want to look up a book. What's available now here in the book? Ah, yes, Chris and Hannah's Lemon. Let's go ahead and check that one out. So we're gonna hit borrow right up here. And we're going to hit borrow again. Right here, you see it says this is a fixed lending period of only 7 days. That's the trade out with Lucky Days. You don't get the full 21, you only get the 7. Borrow. And then it's gonna ask you here, read with. What are we reading with? Are we doing it through Libby or are we doing it through Kindle? Again, if you have the Kindle, you would choose the Kindle option. But since we're doing it through Libby, we'll do it on this device. For those of you that do have Kindle, but have access to Libby, I would recommend just doing it through Libby. Because if you do it through Kindle, it's gonna send you to Amazon. And then through Amazon, you'll have to download it to your device. It'll still be free and it'll still be through the library. But you do have to go that extra step to going through Amazon.
But every once in a while, because I do that process where I get it to Libby, then transfer it to Kindle.
Right.
But then every once in a while, my Amazon account seems to be charging me for a book. What would that be?
That's not good. So when you get sent to the Amazon account, it'll show you what it looks like to buy the book. Because it'll have the information of the book, the title and all that, but the buy option will be a borrow from Libby option. The buy option will still be there probably. Be sure you say borrow from Libby, because it should replace the buy option. But I'm pretty sure they would have the buy option there because they want you to buy stuff there as well. If it doesn't give you the buy option, let us know. It should direct you to that borrow option. And then from that borrow option, you just select what device you want to set it to. So let's go ahead and continue with read with. Go through Libby. Awesome. So it's gonna open the book right here. There are 2 modes to reading a book. There is the reading mode and there's an option mode. Right now, the reading mode, if I press the right arrow, it'll go through the pages, left arrow to go back, or if you're on your device, you can just swipe left, swipe right, or even tap. Either one is acceptable. The options, though, is different. When you click in the middle of the page, it'll bring up these borders. Down here, you'll be able to see where you're at in the book, and each one of those dark pipes are a chapter. And options up here, and on your device, you'll be able to see these options. You'll even be able to close the book right up here under that, if you want to come back to it at a later time. With these options up here, you can format the book in any way you want. So for instance, right up here, we're saying, hey, we want 2 columns instead of 1. Oh, this is let's get some words up here so we can show you what I mean by that. So we can set it up here, let's go to options, right up here. And we'll be like, oh, hey, we want basically 2 pages on a page at once, or we can just say, hey, just 1 full page on the screen at one time. We can go up here to the letter icon, and we can do scaling. We can choose a bigger font, smaller font, totally up to you. Go up to the middle. Down here we'll do lighting. I like dark fonts because I like reading at night. And I don't like it when the brightness hits me in the face all at once. Go back up here, go back to A. Down here we can even choose publisher's default if we want to. Different book designs. Open dyslexic. Oh, that's pretty neat. That's a new one. I haven't seen that one before.
Couldn't see the better.
Oh, this one's open dyslexic, so it's a little bit more of an easier read if for the font. It's pretty neat. Yeah, let's go back. Let's do an A. Back to bright. Just keep it there normal, and let's go back to this normal. So once we're done here, let's see, we've been reading for a little while, right? Let's make it to like chapter 2, and we're done. Like, hey, we'll come back to this. But go back to my options by clicking the middle of the screen, hit back. The book will close and it'll send me back here to look for an item, right? I'll be able to find my item again under my bookshelf, which is these books right here. And you'll see, there it is. You can open it in Libby again. It even gives you the option to manage the hold by returning it early if you would like to. Like return early right here, but you don't have to. You never have to worry about paying a late item with a digital item because it'll just delete itself. So you never have to worry about returning it early or anything like that, unless you want to be super, super cool and help out our friend over there that's 42 in line, return it early so you can get down more further on the list. So that's what it looks like for ebook. Any questions on the ebook there? You gotta change each size, you gotta change font, yes, yes.
I need help.
Oh,
I don't know where the bar was to do all the options.
yeah, for
Sorry,
sure.
thank you.
Yes,
How did you say you get the options thing?
by clicking in the middle of the screen.
You just,
Yeah, you just tap it because here, I'll open it again, right? Here I am, reading the book. If I tap the middle of the screen, it disappears with the options. Tap the middle, it'll bring back the options. So options mode is when those 2 borders come down. Reading mode is when it just shows you the entire book. And then from here, I can swipe right or left. And as you can see, I re-entered the book and it remembered that I was on chapter 2. This is the greatest thing ever because you'll never need a bookmark again or never have to worry about it falling out. This also goes for audiobooks. It'll remember the exact second you paused it. You no longer have to worry about what disc of what track you were on of 50 CDs if you were reading like Victor Hugo or something. And I'll show you that here now with the audiobooks. Yes, right?
I can't quite see this thing up there, but up near the top on the left, in what you're in, is there like lines where if you can tap on that and it moves that table of contents?
Oh,
yeah.
table of contents, this guy right here? Yeah. If you click on the chapter, you can even search through table of contents of what chapter you can skip to. That way you can come back and read any chapter you want through there. Again, table of contents is located, when you bring up the options, right up here where it says chapter 2, table of contents, you can just click there. One little step up further, and I'll show you this. If you guys remember the tags, like I was saying, you can tag a book saying, hey, this is like my favorite mysteries or my wish list. There are actual digital bookmarks you can place down on a certain page, like bookmarks and habits right here. Place bookmark by clicking the top right of the corner, which is this little guy, and there it is. Look, there's a bookmark. Why you would want to use this bookmark is totally up to you. For instance, I use the bookmark for what was it? To find references of 80s culture in this book. So I put down the bookmark so I can revisit them and be like, oh, I'm gonna look what the 80s reference is. Or, I think I had somebody else use them for, oh, this is an odd thing that I wanna come back to in this murder mystery. I'll bookmark it and come back and see if I can pick up what they were laying down, or maybe if I'm confused about it. Again, those bookmarks, totally up to you on how you wanna use them.
How do you re-access the bookmark?
Oh, right up here, this little, so
Tip it back to the book.
yeah, so right up here at the top corner, this little girl right here, once it's highlighted, if we go here to bookmarks, it'll show like, hey, you have a bookmark here from today on chapter, page 16. Page 16, chapter 2, and when you click on it, it'll take you back to that page. Let me see if you can add a note to it. Let's see if they're cool like that. Never. So I think you would have to remember your own bookmarks there, but again, you don't have to use the bookmarks, they're there for you to use for whatever you need. Yes.
And once again, they'll save across multiple readings, so if you wanna go back to a book later on, like you're going through a series, and you go, I remember something in book one, I'm gonna reserve it again. Those bookmarks will stay with the book.
Oh, even though, oh, so those bookmarks, let's say you return the book, when you check it out again, it'll still have those bookmarks with
That
you.
you put on,
Yes, yes.
but nobody else.
Exactly, nobody else can see them, yeah, of course. There's nothing here that anybody else can see but you. Unless, of course, you leave a review, which I don't even think you can do that on here. I think that's like your own main website.
I read a lot, I've got 3 Kindles. I
Awesome.
usually have 2 charging and I'm reading one, and it seems like they sync most of the time, sometimes they don't sync. So if I'm using one, I take a chart and open the other one, it knows where I'm at. And other times it has no clue, but I.
Yes, so that's something I can talk to you afterward, the one that is. So let's say in your situation, right? I also have multiple devices that I read Libby on. Because when you have an audiobook, I like to go between, let's say, my iPad and my phone, right? And I have Libby on both. They should talk to each other where I am from the previous day. But it all depends on whether I'm streaming the item or I already have it downloaded to my device. And that's gonna matter if you travel and have multiple devices. Let's see if it'll show it on here. So let's close out of this book and I'll show you what I mean. So right here, this little cloud icon, right? On devices you can download it on, it'll give you the cloud with a check mark, meaning, hey, this item is permanently on your device, and even without signal, you'll be able to read it or listen to it. If it doesn't have the check mark, it means you're streaming on it, meaning as long as you have a signal, you can access the item. What are the benefits? The benefits are if you have it downloaded, of course, you can travel with it with ease without having to worry with Wi-Fi or signal. If you do it streaming, there's no real benefit. Totally up to you. I guess the only benefit would be is storage space on your device. But even now, like I would say, depending on like if your device is more than 10 years old, then I guess you don't have to worry too much about storage even with an audiobook. So I think even an hour of like music used to be a gig, but it's less than that now, like crazy less. And that's actual TED Talk, if you know what I'm talking about, but don't worry about that. And any questions from here on ebooks? I'll go to audiobooks now. We're all good? Oh, yes.
Is it common that it would have a check for the file?
Yes, it should automatically be downloaded to your device, but you can choose it not to. Usually the thing you want to be sure that trips everybody up is, let's say you're getting a bunch of books, you're getting ready on your trip, you'll have to go here to the settings maybe once for let's see. So everything, contact or safety, no. Copy to another device, no. Notifications. You can also tell it like, hey, notify me when a loan is expiring. Either tell me on the app or tell me on my email. The one I'm looking for is download only when attached to Wi-Fi. Cause it'll prioritize only downloading items if you're on Wi-Fi. If you're on mobile, it won't download. And that's a setting you can tell it like, hey, just download regardless of whether I'm on Wi-Fi or mobile data. Is it accessibility, reduce color? No, that's not it either. We'll find it here eventually. Yeah.
I see it on my mobile, I don't know if you're on a.
Oh, you know why? It's probably because I'm on the computer and it doesn't want to download it. Yeah, that's the other thing. You can't download to computer. You can only download to the mobile app because then it keeps it all in the app. With computer, it's a little bit more easier to navigate, but to download, you definitely want to do it on your mobile device. Let's do the audiobook then. So audiobooks on here are my absolute favorite. Exit out books. Yes, audiobooks. Whoa. Here we are, ready to read audiobooks. Oh, look at that. We got Wicked here for 20 hours. Let's borrow Wicked then. So we're gonna borrow Wicked. We're gonna do, this one is for the 21 days, the full 21 days. Hit borrow. And then open audiobook. And this is what it'll look like for opening up an audiobook.
How did we get there into audiobooks? Sorry.
Oh, under available now under the Browse House. I think I'm gonna call it the Browse House for now because it rolls off the tongue a little easier. But here's what it'll look like. We'll hit play. Hopefully it won't be too loud.
I go to listen.
Okay, good. It's not even saying anything. Perfect. So it's gonna go through it. The really cool thing about this too is like if you go to the table of contents, you can choose by chapter or by location. Here. Oh, I guess that's the musical. Huh. Go back to that one. But with audiobooks, it's come a long way. I'll show you here some of the settings that are such quality of life. For instance, you can skip 15 minutes ahead, 15 minutes back, just in case if you lost track of the book. You can set up here the reading speed. Some people read very slow. You can speed them up here. Some people read very fast. You can slow them down here as well. And just attune it to however you want to hear it read. Of course, that'll also determine how long the book is. Like usually when I love using the audiobooks here, if I usually like reading at 1.5 speed, it sounds like gibberish, but I try to keep it out of my head, but that also lowers the total time of the audiobook, so I go through them pretty quickly. Or again, like I said, just slow them down, because I think, for me, I love that they do have a bunch of, let's say, guest readers that come in, and some of them are British. I like those slowed down. Because I don't get subtitles with audiobooks. If we go up here, we'll be able to even have a sleep timer. Sleep timers are great. You can sleep with your book, that way you can hear your audiobook for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, however you want to fine tune it there. Up here, we even have digital bookmarks too for certain spaces in the audiobook. Again, if you just want to hear something reread again, or maybe you liked a certain scene, whatever those bookmarks you want to use for the digital content, for digital audiobooks, you can. Any questions on digital audiobooks?
How did you access the one that, for slowing it down or speeding it up?
Oh, right up here, they're usually at the top right corner of the audiobook. There's a little,
That's the first one.
yeah, the first one that looks like a speedometer. So now, like I said, with audiobooks, pretty cool. Once we're done, we can hit back. And it'll remember the exact second that I closed it. That way, when I come back in, I can reiterate, maybe even skip 15 minutes back, or 15 minutes, sorry, 15 seconds back, and try to remember where I last left off there. We'll go back up here to our shelf and you'll see that under recent loans, there's Wicked now. Have it on our loans. Any questions? Any so far? Are we all right? Okay. So this is just opening up and scratching the surface of Libby, and how to navigate through it. There will be definitely a few more questions that'll come in line, just remembering what are your lucky days, how many things to check out, going through Amazon if you're using Kindle. Very rarely, like, let me just put some asterisks in here. If we go to the browse house and start here, let's go, oh no, sorry, the magnifying glass. But if you double click it, it'll reset everything, so that way you can search again. You'll be able to see we have something like 68K ebooks, but only 58K Kindle. Not every item on our site will be available for Kindle. That's why we always have Libby available for you to read it as a backup if you need to. I think someone in here said Audible. There are exclusives that we won't be able to obtain through, like, let's say Audible or other reading exclusives, because they want they're locked to those streaming services per se. So, but we're more than happy to help if any, let's say if we don't have a book series or ebook, you're more than welcome to let us know, hey, I'm gonna request this for an ebook or an audiobook, a digital audiobook. And you can send that through us, through our library or through the website as well when you enter it for the first time. But I think I'll leave it for the next 15 minutes for me and Evan to come around to help you guys with any very specific questions, or if you want to go through stuff.
Does the Kindle app on an iPad work the same as a physical Kindle?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does. It gives you the option to, it's basically like another Libby. But we send it to that specific Kindle so you can read it, because it's like the difference between, hey, this is like a, oh gosh, how would I say that? Like a tape to a CD. The tape can only play in a tape player. The Kindle can only play to a Kindle player.
Is it possible to put our digital barcode on an iPhone so we don't have to take the little card physical?
It is possible. We have the PCPL app, and as long as you log into there with all the information, it will come up with a digital card, so that way you can have it on your phone. Do note about that digital card, it will not scan, but it will have your number, and if we see that at the front of at the desk, we'll be able to check you out with that number.
Think they'll ever have it?
Yeah. You can even, the thing it will scan though, I'll tell you, is you can scan your own books with the app. So that way you don't have to wait on the checkout line, you could just check it out before you leave the door with your phone. That's something else I can show you guys too.
What hours is the library open? I know that they changed the days that they're open.
We are open Monday through Friday. Monday 10 to 6. Tuesdays, Thursdays 10 to 7. Wednesdays also 10 to 6, I remember, but Friday's the only oddball out where it's 10 to 5.
That's only at Wheeler Tap.
That's only at Wheeler Tap, yes. Some other libraries have different schedules as well. For instance, Nanini, right up the road on Ina and Shannon, they're open on Saturday, 10 to 5. But the trade-off to that is that they're not open Monday. So they're Tuesday through Saturday bridge. I think same thing with Oro Valley. Any other questions? Real good. I'll just open the floor. Yes.
I'm not really very used to Libby, I'm just starting, because I've been using the Overdrive for years. Well, it doesn't seem to customize it. Like, I would like to log in there, and I want to know that Kindle books, I would like to have a list of the history books that have been added in the past 6 months. Well, I do that each time I have to go in and do those filters.
Yeah.
Can you customize that?
I think there might be a way to customize that. I don't think there is, but I can definitely look that through and we can find that out. Evan, do you know if this out your guys' any chance?
We can pin the Kindle books, but we can't pin the subjects. We can pin the Kindle book option, but not the subjects.
So at least we can cut your workload in half at least. All right, so I'll come around, we'll go through there. Thank you for having me here, guys, I appreciate it.
Thank you for
And
coming.
yeah, and I hope you guys check out all the audiobooks you want. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, I can always wait to go back. Thank you. So, this is a wonderful resource and, you know, it's pretty well, we pay with our tax dollars, but, if you're not using this, it's just amazing. An amazing service.
So recently, is
But just so you know, the things over, and however, they hear it once in hell.
I'm not even sure I can get on my computer.
You're up to 100 here.
It's